Hello everyone, it is Wednesday, January 25th, and we're going to be going over the futures markets. So pretty crazy day, big move down early, and then nothing but straight up since. So here, starting off the S&P 500, we had a really good trade set up over here with the, this is just a scalping trade, is on the 1 minute chart. Let me scroll over here a little bit, show you exactly where it was. So using the scalping trade right here, using that low to that high, price came down, hit 38, hit the 61.8, never hit the 38, hit the 88, never even got any support at all to go back to the 61, and then just kept on waffling down here lower. This is what happened yesterday, and then overnight it started going straight down. Microsoft reported bad earnings and bad guidance, and so it caused it to go down. But then for some reason at exactly 9:40 a.m. the low was in and it did nothing but go up. And basically all that is for it from that's a 50% retracement back from this trade right here, because what this was right here was a EMA crossover trade setup. You can see here's the crossover alert right here for it. So we draw the high down to the low down there, looking for price to come up and hit off the 38 and go down to that target. That obviously didn't happen, so then you have to start looking at what other areas to get out of for the signals for it. So once it hit the 88, we move the target to 38, but then once it hits the 1.146, the target goes down to the 66% level or 61.8% level. And you can see down here when it hit that, and even went a little bit down further, down to the 50%, but that winded up ending that trade for that one here on the 5-minute chart. And then on the 1 minute chart, you know, it bottomed out. It's where I looked at it in and see right here, right on the 2.618 level. It's an extreme move, obviously, if we're not getting hit. But that's what you look for. And price did continue to go down lower. I mean, still went another, I mean, more points is that 18 points lower before the bottom came in and it zoomed back up. So the target we're looking for in the scalping trade right here is at the 88% line right there. And so it went up there and got hit. So that trade is done for the scalping trade. So moving forward for it, here on the 1 minute chart, there is a potential EMA crossover trade. There's one. I think this one actually went up and got filled though from earlier, because here's a crossover right there. So all we do for the crossover trade is there's the high, and then we just keep drawing this down until the 38% line gets hit. Did not get hit there, or even did it come close enough to it? Nah, didn't come close enough to getting hit. So we just keep drawing it right there. So that's where that's going to be for that crossover trade. Oh, excuse me, that's not close at all. It's going to be all the way down here actually. So for the 1 minute chart, here's we have a crossover trade for it. Price getting pretty close to hit the 88.6. When that does, we move the target down here to the 30%. But right now, currently, the target is still going to be all the way down here to the 1.146. But it's what, 211. Got a little down arrow, down bar right there. So until it ticks a little bit higher, hits the 88.6, then we move the target up to the 38%. But currently is in that, and it is going the other way as well. We do have a crossover, but it needs more of a pullback to initiate that trade setup over there. Going over the 5 minute chart. This is actually in the 5 minute chart now. This the 1 minute chart is going to have a little bit different exits because it's EMA crossover trade, but here in the 5 minute chart, this is a scalping trade. You see using the red symbol for high, red symbol for low. Hit the 38, obviously didn't go down, hit the target down here at 39.51. Hit the 61.8, so then the target that moves it for the scalping trade up to the 38. And then when it gets a little bit closer or hits the 88% one, then the target moves. We'll just move that as the upper line of the box. The target moves down to the 61.8. And then finally, if price keeps on going up and goes a little past the 1.272 up there, which would draw, where would it put the 30% line the other way? Yeah, it'd be north of it some, about right there. If price goes all the way up to there, then that would take the 38% back the other way past it. Then you move the target to the 88 and just leave it there. But currently, this is where we are right now. So we've got the EMA crossover and also a scalping trade on the 1 minute chart. So going on that 4 hour, as mentioned yesterday, market's completely overbought, and we had the divergence in there. So we did initially have that little sell-off for it, but now prices bounced back. So still looking for another push down here in the S&P 500, going over to Russell 2000. This one came off from being overbought. It's gone down nicely here in the MFI. Going over here into the 5-minute chart. Let's see, I had an open order right here, never got filled. So going over here to the 5-minute chart, what we had right here was, oh, you know what, it's going to be 1-minute chart, sorry. Going over here to the 1-minute chart. Here's a EMA crossover trade. You can see there's the green diamond signals the EMA crossovers, so look for a long side. So price did retrace, hit down 38, found some support there. Looked like it's going to go hit the target, but didn't get enough momentum. Kept on going down, 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 down some more, and then hit the 88%, which moves the target to the 61.8, and that is where we leave it here for that. But what also would happen for it is, or the target, target would be the 61.8, which is right here, and price went on pretty low, never went and hit off the 2.618 level, which I was looking for down here, but did come out complete it when it hit the 61.8 right there. But going over here, I believe this is a 5-minute chart for it. It did complete this trade setup right here. This was on the 5-minute chart, because here you can see the maroon diamond right there for the crossover trade setup. Using that high, that low down here. Price came hit 38, went all the way up back to the 68, or excuse me, the 88.6% right there. Right there. And so then that puts the target, that moved the target to 38%. So price kept down, and look at that, ticked off perfectly for that one, for that EMA crossover trade to be done right there. And that's where price also found its support for some reason and has been popping off ever since. So moving forward here to the next day, we are in a kind of like the S&P 500. We are in a scalping trade setup. Current target is going to be down here at the 38.2 line right there, down there at the bottom. But price, you know what? I'm going to say it's close enough to hit the 88. Look, that's pretty close. That's only what? 98.3. It's only 7 ticks away. I'm going to say it's close enough to hit the 88% to count that. So I'm actually going to move the target right here to the 61.8 for that current trade setup. And go back to the 1-minute chart. Yeah, nothing else going on. All right, so the Dow Jones right here, I believe this was, let's see here. Okay, we have a scalping trade set up right there. There's the low, there's the high. Here's where we had the crossover right there. So price came down, found some support off the 38, never made its push higher though. Never, as you can see, never made it push higher. Continued to go down, went down, hit the 88.6, all the way down to 1.272. But then came back up and hit the 61.82 in that trade. And I think on the 5-minute chart, this is actually also, a scalping trade here on the 5-minute chart, so we actually had two different exits. Scalping trade on the 5-minute chart would have been the exit we were looking for that one, would have been the 38.2 right there. So it came up there and hit that, because once that 38.2, the opposite way crosses the 88, which would have been right there, then we move the exit just to the 88.6, but since it did not, we'll leave it at the 38, and price went up there and hit that one as well for that one. So all the trades set up so far have been completed. Let's see here. See if we can catch anything real quick going. Yeah, that one been done. That's done. No, it's all done. So we'll go 5-minute, because this one is a potential scalp. So it is a scalp setup, because we have going from yellow to the red semaphore. And to make a red semaphore, you have to have a yellow one in there first, because the red semaphore, and again, these semaphores just show turning points or pivot points. And the red ones are the strongest, yellows are second, greens are the weakest, but I don't use the greens in there. So to have a red, you have to have a yellow. So using the yellow semaphore to yellow semaphore, price came up, hit 38, obviously never went back down, hit the 68, which would have moved the target to the 38, but that obviously didn't happen. Then hit the 88, and now it's been powering through it. So once it hit the 88% line right there, move the target down here to the 61.8% right there. So price is showing some resistance off of the 1.146 the other way. But again, I don't look at getting into it unless you get a huge move here to the upside, which would be at 344.99 way up there, which would be from where price currently is at. Another 694 ticks here on the Dow Jones. The only time we would make the exit move higher is if going the opposite way, the 38. Price have to get up right about there at 33.977. Then we just leave the exit just north of the 88% line right there. So that's currently where we're at. Going 4-hour chart. It's in middle no man's land. See, it came off from being oversold down here. We had a nice pop up. Never reached overbought over here, so that one's in the middle no man's land. Going over to oil. Oil had been slightly overbought. You can see the MFI is trending down. Price is slightly trending down as well. Not a whole lot to talk about there. We did have one I was talking about yesterday. Unfortunately, this one came up and got completed. Let's see. Let me take this one off. I'll need that one on. But so the exit, because this was a scalping trade. You see using that semaphore. There's a red one. There's a red one right there. Price came down, hit the 61.8. You know what? That one completed it. So hold on. This must be on the 1-minute chart I was looking at. Yeah. So what this actually was a crossover trade here on the 1-minute chart. There's a crossover right there. So there's the low red. There's the high red. And then price came down and hit 38. Never hit it. 61.8. 88.6. Obviously never hit the 38. And then once it hits the 1.146, we leave the target at the 61.8. So I was hoping for price of oil to really crash, get down here at about 78.36, get in there, and then take it up to close to the exit up here at $81. That didn't happen. Price kept finding support down here. Actually, I don't need the 1.5 on there anymore. Let me take that off. Price found a lot of support, as you can see. I mean, just draw a line at the bottoms of there and look at that. That's been the lows of it pretty much. Found support, and then it's still not done yet. Came up, got pretty close to hitting to 61.8 right there, but not close enough for me to call it. So still has some more room for it to go up there and hit set $80.61, and look for something closer to 81.30 for that trade to be complete. But ever since then, as you can see here on the 1-minute chart, it's been nothing but in a range the whole time. So we're looking for 81.30 come up there and get hit pretty soon. Then let's see here. What did we do? That's this 5-minute chart. We'll go 4-hour here. Just coming off being overbought territory. And then going over to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq had been completely overbought, and we did have a sell-off down before we had that big recovery like everything else. So let's see what this thing says. Wall Street's low is weak. Retailers. Next week's drop. Microsoft's bleak outlook. Yeah, that was earlier today. So still look for the MFI to move down lower, and for price to follow it as well. Going over to the 5-minute chart, what we had right here was this was a crossover trade here on the 5-minute chart, and the price can go back up. So once it hit the 1.146, move the exit to 61.8. See, price came down pretty close to it, but not close enough for me to call it for being a complete trade yet. So we still are looking for the price to come down here to the 61.8% level down here, right there on the 1-minute chart. And then here on, excuse me, that was the 5-minute chart. And then on another 5-minute setup over here, we're just using that apparently. This is another great trade that happened today. This is just going to be a scalping trade. You can see using the low to the high. Price actually ticked off the EMA perfectly, but just blew past the there's 38, blew past it, hit the 61.8, had a little bit of recovery, brought to the 50, but the 88 stood no chance, just blew straight past that. So that means the exit one gets down about here, moves to the 88.6% level, and price kept on going down. Here's the 2.618. You see it started looking like there's recovery, but then price just had an even big sell-off right down over there. Never hit the 61.8. Kind of wish it did. Just get that trade done from that one I was talking about a little bit ago. But then reversed again at about 9:35, 9:30, like the rest of the markets, and it's been pretty much straight up ever since. And then here's the 88.6% right there, which ended that trade set up for that one to be done. So we're still looking for this one to go down here and get filled eventually. And kind of like the SP 500, I think Russell This is going to be a, let's see here, 61.8, not down 38, 8.6. Yep, so this is another one for a scalp and trade setup where we're looking for it at least to come back down here as of right now to 11,761.25. Going over to the 4-hour chart, and yeah, we talked about that a little bit ago, completely oversold. So those are the markets that we're looking for. We're still looking for, it's got some setups, looking for it to move down lower for the SP 500, Russell 2000, Dow. Oil, we're actually looking to go up right over there. There may be some other trades in here, but doubt it since it's been a range. Everything's gotten filled. And then slight lower here on the Nasdaq. So that's the wrap up for today. Take care. Thanks. Bye.